Hard R fans, Hollywood's fans, this is for you right here. What the hell are you doing in Hollywood? The undisputed champions of Black Wrestling Podcasting, the Hard R. Woo!
Hard R Wrestling Podcast.
Acknowledge me if you smell
What the Hard R Wrestling Podcast is cooking. And now it's time! Let me see. Hi, everybody. This is the Hard R Wrestling Podcast. We are live, baby! Live and direct. I'm J. Lou. To my right is D-Lo. And I don't know where the other guys are. Do you know where they are, D-Lo?
I have no idea. I hope they're not doing some,
I'll go first. I'm Roderick Strong. Adam, do it, Adam. I'm your best friend. Do it, Adam.
Jesus Christ. Jesus fucking. That's Roderick Strong, aka.
See, I knew he was gonna do Bray, so that's why I went first.
The whole show.
Bray.
I love it. I like that. I like that. That's
The whole show.
The whole show. Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, we are the Hard R Wrestling Podcast, coming live and direct from Maryland and VA. The whole, DMV on lock.
I'm in Wembley.
You in goddamn Wembley. You ain't in. You don't even. You have a passport. Do you have a passport? A lot has happened over the. I don't know what I want to. You know what? I want to kind of end on a high note. So I do want to talk about a lot of wrestling, related stuff happened. Unfortunately, one of a legend in wrestling passed away. The Funkster Terri Funk passed away.
The Funk Conservatory,
there you go.
Funk University. The Lord of the Double Cross Ranch.
There you go. I was waiting for you to say it.
Middle age and crazy.
I'm middle aged and crazy.
Which is crazy because we're now middle age. Like I remember him saying that when I was a teenager. I was like, oh yeah.
Middle age living with crazy.
Stop it. The Funkster passed away. How old was he Monday?
I think Funk just turned
79.
79, yeah, because his birthday was like last month, so he was 79. And we saw the pictures from his birthday and was like, oh, like Terry, I know they said he was kind of doing bad and everything, but
I didn't hear that. That's
I knew. Yeah, I saw pictures from his. It was like some of the boys got together for him for his birthday, and I really didn't even recognize,
oh man,
that was Terry, man. But shout out to Terry, man. Terry is one crazy ass man, he he was, I guess you could say, one of the godfathers of the hardcore style, between Terry Funk, the original Sheik, Bruiser Brody, Abdullah, and Terry passed away, and it's crazy the fact that he had literally you could say he had a three era Hall of Fame career, because he had his early era when he was the NWA, when he was teaming with his brother Dory Funk Jr. And they were tag team champions, and then he won the NWA world title. And there's like a promo he shot. He did it's like a legendary promo where he's like crying and bleed, and he's like he says like forever. He's just yelling forever, like, you never thought we'd do this forever. And then, he had his second run kind of like mid WWE. A lot of people forget he was in WWE like in the mid 80s. Like I think he might have been a part of the first WrestleMania or the WrestleMania 2, if I'm not mistaken. He was doing that, and and then he kind of still in that period too when he went back to WCW NWA. And he started like a hell of a feud with Ric Flair.
And pile drived him on that table and broke his neck.
Yeah, he piled drove Ric Flair.
Yeah,
the cowboy boots and stuff like that.
I remember that
memory.
Yeah, that was a saying he had a great little run there. And then of course, people thought he was basically done, and he started doing like the King of the Death matches over in Japan. Yeah, in Japan over All Japan Pro Wrestling and stuff. And then he was, I guess,
it ain't a death match till you put skewers in your head.
We're gonna talk about that. we are going to talk about that.
Really, but
then the art form, other people make it like
right, and then he had like the I guess you could say the coming into the climax of his career ending with him going to ECW and kind of giving ECW credibility. With them, and
that's when I first ran it. That was my first,
him giving ECW,
a lot of people too.
Yeah, him giving ECW some credibility. He was a two-time ECW champion, and the feuds he had with I think they said one of the best matches in the 90s. I've only seen it like once or twice. It was good. It was a draw between Funk, Sabu, and Shane Douglas, like to an hour limit draw. And
wasn't Terry Funk in the first pay-per-view for ECW?
Yes, he won the world title. That's when he won the world title. Okay. That was like the big story of him and trying to get the world title, and
him
then
coming back and winning the big one.
Winning the big. He said he wanted to be champion one more time, and then kind of ending his career when he went to WWE, where they kind of used him as Chainsaw Charlie, and
which was stupid, but I mean. It was still kind of good. Like
they referred to him as Chainsaw Charlie, but Jim Ross was like being defiant and was still calling him
which
Terry
we
Funk.
love, which made it work even better.
Which was still calling Terry Funk. And to this day,
wasn't he wearing? Was it leg stockings that he was wearing over his face?
It was like he was robbing somebody, right? And I guess you could say the highlight of that run was they won the World Tag Team Championship from the New Age Outlaws. WrestleMania.
I gotta disagree with you there.
No, Jason. No.
The best part of that feud.
That was the funniest thing. What you're about to say.
Middle-aged and crazy.
Okay.
Oh, y'all was at the dorm, yeah.
No.
So we were. So me and Jason, people don't know, we were roommates and we were friends, all right, but we were roommates in college, and we had 2 TVs set up in our room. And every Monday night, I would get home for band practice, sweating my ass off, and Jason would be like coming in from work. And one TV was on Nitro, the other TV was on Raw. Yes. On the other side, and we had like these dressers that was up high. And we saw possibly the funniest shit we've ever seen in our life. It was the New Age Outlaws, and this is before they were officially DX, when they were just doing wild ass shit. They beat the hell out Terry Funk and Cactus Jack, threw them in a dumpster, and then proceeded to push the dumpster off the stage, the Raw stage, and it was like we were laughing our asses off.
Jim Ross had a heart attack.
Because Jim Ross he was like, "Look at him! They think it's great.
They think it's cool.
Big deal. And this is when the New Age Outlaws were wearing like the South Park T-shirts, and they were like, "Yeah!" After they did it, and then we were laughing our asses off. But this is when
because we were sick.
But the thing is. And we started to think like, yo, they really got hurt because you saw the whole locker room like heels
and then Jim Ross
faces.
Did the serious voice, and the King did like the oh my god,
and you saw them coming,
and
they was like you saw Terry Funk in there like doing the fish like that. You thought they was like really hurt, man. So that was probably one of the funniest things is we were sick people. But shout out to but shout out to Terry Funk, man.
Yes,
like I said,
and his family, loved ones. He provided such great entertainment to us. And it's like they say, death comes in threes, man. It was horrible. That was announced, and then what everybody's willing from is Bray Wyatt at the age of 36, aka Wyndham Rotunda. Hope I'm saying his name correctly. Passed away. I believe from what I heard, from what I read on internet, but from some pretty reliable sources, he had a pre-existing heart condition, which was but then he caught COVID, which made those symptoms worse, and then he had a heart attack and died. Which is
what they're saying too.
Yeah.
That's that same thing that almost happened to Keith Lee. Remember when Keith
Yeah,
Lee was out?
yeah,
So it's the same thing. And this
and
is
they're big
something,
guys. They're big guys,
right? And this is,
so.
but this is something though that I've heard dealing with COVID, that people who may have had like a pre-conditioned heart, they might not have really known about it. It might be something small, and then COVID got them, and then to find out they have like long-lasting issues and stuff, man. So it was. I saw about 2 weeks ago, it was reported that hey, because I think a lot, with the dirt sheets and stuff and stuff, people were saying, like, what the hell is Bray Wyatt doing, this and that, blah blah blah. Like one of the dirt sheets or whatever finally came out and was like, hey, it's some reliable sources that this man basically almost died. And people were like, what the hell are you talking about? And you started seeing like a few articles saying like it was a health thing. It was really a health issue where it was like it was career ending, borderline life ending, and come to find out it still was the latter of the two, which is, what I'm saying, a horrible thing. He leaves behind what, 4 kids, 2 with his ex-wife and 2 with JoJo Offerman,
JoJo,
JoJo Offerman, former ring announcer and stuff.
Ooh.
Man. So
yeah, man,
it's it's rough. It's rough out here, man, and it's like, just be grateful for the time you have with loved ones and you have yourself, man, because that shit, I was like, oh snap, and it was just.
I thought WWE did a really good, a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
Rewrite. I mean, they do this.
Oh
stuff
shit, y'all! We got 2 viewers on Twitch.
There we go.
Yeah, hold on. Shout out to Mufasa again. That's my dude. Mufasa.
Thank you, Mufasa.
Say
This
it
is the first
again.
time we're going live. That was sexual. I didn't like that.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, but
I'm gonna do it. It's my Twitch. I'm gonna do it.
It's your Twitch. Yes.
Adam.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Dude, we trying to be serious here.
I know, jeez. I mean, we kind of over the serious part, but I thought they did a really good. I don't know, what would you, D-Lo? Did you think they did a good service to him and commemorating?
Yeah, I mean, under the short notice, I mean, the video packages that they run, they're always tear jerkers.
Yes.
Like they always get me in the feels, but I can't judge like a tribute show. Like, they did a great job, and it's sad that he passed away. He was only 36, and I was shitting on him for his in-ring talent, and I texted you guys this. Like, I felt bad for saying all that stuff. It was never about the person. It was more about the talent.
Absolutely.
I just thought it was ironic that you was the one that broke the news. That you was the one.
That was crazy. On our group chat.
You broke.
Man, D-Lo has been like Ron Burgundy, man. Like, he has got all the breaking news.
No, but I was scrolling on Twitter. I was just scrolling.
Twitter's better than any news.
Oh, excuse me, sorry. He whose name we shall never mention on the podcast again. I know he is hating every time that D-Lo hits that breaking news in the chat. I know he's kicking himself in the ass.
Yeah.
Like, son of a bitch, he got me again.
No, like when you said it, I was like, oh, there go D-Lo again with this shit. With this shit.
Okay, D-Lo.
Okay, D-Lo. Like, D-Lo, all right, bro.
D-Lo's hit a new low.
I was like, all right, bro, we get it. And then
I
was like, well, hold on. And I said, hold on, he don't play like that. And that's when I went to Twitter.
And then I was like, oh God.
And I was like, yo, what the fuck?
I was just scrolling through Twitter just randomly, and then I see a Triple H tweet that I saw the tweet, and I was like, what the? At first, I waited a little bit because I thought maybe he got hacked, and someone took over his Twitter account and just started putting that up. And then I think Meltzer or someone else confirmed it, and I was just like, yeah, it took me by surprise, man, because that was one of the few. I forgot who I was listening to. It was a podcast the other day. That was one of like the few talents from NXT that came over from NXT and didn't really change when they got up to the main roster. Everything that they did was what they were doing in NXT. It was his way. And it's just unfortunate, man. Very unfortunate.
And another thing too, man, like, you know, in the industry or whatever, there's people who like folk, and there's a few that might have something bad to say about them. Nobody has ever said. Nobody has said nothing like, even kind of like, you know, like me and him ain't agree on this and that, but you know, he was a good. Everything was just like, yo, Bray was that dude or whatever. And
never heard of him punching anybody before he went out on stage.
Yo,
we're gonna talk about it. I know we all are.
But you're my best friend.
Wow. You know, it sort of had me thinking like how the WWE, you know, has evolved in a good way about tributes. I remember.
So shout out to AEW for having the joint at the beginning of Rampage. They had
but AEW, you know, the thing about AEW don't give a damn. They did it.
They always
they do it whenever.
But that's what I'm saying. You know? Shout out to AEW because they you know, they look at it like, hey, we're all a family, instead of how WWE is like, oh, we're just gonna include these people and not, you know what I'm saying, or act like they don't exist or never, you know, existed. But yeah, shout out to AEW, man. And Jericho,
because I'm not gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie, I still feel a certain type of way that WWE didn't do like at least a billboard for New Jack when he passed. Like they didn't do like if Paul Heyman had to do it on that SmackDown post show, and he was like, I'm gonna probably get in trouble for this, but I don't care. And
it is what it is.
He did it, man. But you know, so
WWE being WWE. Well, and speaking of which, I mean, they haven't always had the best history of doing wrestlers, right? I remember probably one of the more disgusting displays after someone passed away was Brian Pillman. I don't know if you guys remember. They actually were interviewing his wife, whose husband and father had just passed away, and like interviewing her, like really interviewing her, and her husband just died. And I remember even seeing some footage about that, her saying, her talking about it years later.
Wasn't Vince asking her? Wasn't Vince asking her, like, just for the record, he was a pill popper and a drunk, right? Like trying to like blame completely.
It was some wild stuff. Like it was like some real wild stuff. Like
he was trying to take. He wasn't trying to accept responsibility. He was just saying something like to the effect like he had his issues with like drugs. I have to like read the transcript or something because it was some pretty heinous shit that he was doing.
Yeah, and I mean, horrible. Remember what happened with the Benoit stuff? Everything was like, oh my God, Benoit was the greatest, this and that. They did a complete tribute show, and then like
scrap.
And then next thing you know, they was like, hold on, this dude might have murdered.
I mean,
murdered, and they were like,
what they had to do.
Like, oh, type,
never mention him again. He didn't exist, which they should.
I remember it was like halfway through that show. More was Twitter even there? Like, no, Twitter wasn't around.
This is for social media.
Yeah, we barely.
This might have been MySpace. MySpace might have just still been there.
Right.
Man,
it was popular.
I remember
it was a big story on MySpace. So Black.
It was
my MySpace page was the shit. Anyway.
Your shit was
popping. It was like halfway through the show, people started to realize, like, oh shit, like,
he murdered his whole family. He was a psycho.
Yeah, because the Regal, I guess when Regal did that interview during the Raw show or whatever, like people were saying like he knew something was up because he lived like 4 houses down from her or something. Yeah.
That was.
But there's still a whole lot of stuff behind that people are saying is not matching up with. They're saying like
about everything.
No, they're saying that
the moon landing. I put it kind of
no, not even that. No, they're saying like he had like issues and stuff like that, but they think that Vince was with some shit because they said that they said that Vince was sleeping with women, but like was cheating with him with women behind his back and some other shit like that. So I mean it.
And then you gotta look at the whole CTE thing too, man.
I think it had more to do with that than him just being already disturbed person, and then you hit him in the head repeatedly for years.
Like you had Junior Seau literally blowing his brains out so he could donate, so people could study his brain and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit's serious.
That gave me chills. And but I mean, they got a little better. I remember when Eddie Guerrero passed. For the most part, I thought they had evolved as a company and handled it, even though he, his death was a little less controversial, even though it was shocking. They did handle, a lot of the tributes, and I think ever since then that's kind of like the model that they've set.
Yeah, but I think Bray is like the first since who was still active on the roster that's passed. I think maybe since then, if I'm not mistaken.
Since Eddie, I think you might be right. Yeah, because all the other ones that
they like they weren't with the company no more, or they God damn, okay. So
I got Rick Steiner downstairs.
Okay. He must be a trans person and is going off. So I thought he did a really good job, and shout out to his family, and I hope they have some semblance of healing. Mourning is a process, not like a one and done. It's like a lifelong process. So
that's a crazy family.
Yeah, it is crazy. Like, he passed away Thursday, and it kind of feels like it's like last week's news. It's maybe I'm just getting that vibe. I'm the only one, but it just kind of feels.
I don't think it's that. I think it's more of it happened, and it's kind of like a damn that happened, and then you did the tribute show, and AEW did their little thing on the show, and
I think it was more so because All In was just such a historic thing.
Yeah, and it wasn't that. It was All In. It was Terry Funk dying, and then it was Bray. It was
because Terry Funk seemed like that was like. Terry Funk seemed like that was last month,
a year ago,
like last month or so. Like
yeah.
And when they started the show off, on SmackDown with both their pictures, I said, "Oh damn, Terry Funk did pass away this week." Like I thought that I felt like that was like last month.
That tribute they did to Bray at the beginning was fucking beautiful, man.
It was.
It was fucking beautiful.
Yeah. Just and the little things that the wrestlers do too.
Shout out to the wrestlers who all went and got the Firefly
tattoo,
and everything.
That's really cool.
What I'm saying?
And when the crowd starts singing, "We got the whole," like that. That gave me chills. It gives me chills. Now. That was a moment.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I want to, we talked about that. I want to talk about the other major thing that went on. And damn, that dog is upset. Is he okay?
Right? Feed that dog.
Feed that
dog. He can't stand people walking in front of our house. So
don't have nobody in front of your house then.
But damn, y'all having a parade out there?
Right. Get on my lawn. Get on my lawn.
Get off my property. God damn it. So All In just happened. A lot of you guys watched it. I was, out with my fucking kids. I shouldn't have.
And what was funny, time out. No, time out, Paul. What's funny was Jason was the one that was like, "Yeah, I'm watching this." Remember?
I sure was. I'm like, "This is the one I'm gonna watch."
Jason was like, "I got that on pre-order. I ordered
it 6 months ago,
and I'm gonna get it. Yeah, I'm gonna get. We watching it.
Get it.
And then you got me at work like, "Yo, I can't wait till the night." Y'all was like, "Don't you mean like 20 minutes?"
Sir.
And I was at work like, "Oh shit, that's what I forgot."
Mind you, Monday text that at like 1:00. Like, yeah, it's been on for 30 minutes.
Like, right, they're like, it's been on for 30. It was like, it was the pre-show stuff that happened. I was like, "Oh shit!" And so I did able to see it, but I just thought that was funny, Jason, that you was like, "Yeah, God damn it, we gonna see AEW, damn it, and
we gonna see some wrestling.
We gonna see some wrestling,
AEW wrestling." No, I was watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with my kids. It was cinema day, and I was doing that shit. Really good movie.
You didn't put the Bloodline videos on YouTube since you said it was cinema day?
I'm shocked it wasn't showing. You could just watch all the cinema that was going on. And speaking of cinema, this is going to be a hell of a transition.
God, here we go. Not like last week. Your shit was terrible last week.
Let's go ahead and talk about it. The main event, MGF
against
Adam Cole, baby.
Do it, Adam. Do it.
Oh shit!
I'm your best friend, Adam.
It was cinema. It was. I have seen clips of it, and for you that actually saw it live and in person a couple hours ago, what did you think from the wrestling, the cinema of it, the drama of it, the storyline, the build. What you got? I'll go with D'Lo first.
So this is cinema that you'll see on Broadway, not community theater at your local rec park. Played by locals,
such a hater.
Retirees and stuff that make up the cast.
They never made it.
They never made it, and they want that that one last shining moment. No, I for sure. So when Adam Cole and MJF won the ROH tag belts, I was like, okay, they're not gonna turn. None of them are gonna turn heel because that doesn't make sense. They just won the tag team titles. So, because my initial thought was Adam Cole was going to turn heel because Roger Strong was going to come out and help him
last week. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And
I said that.
Oh, you said it.
That didn't happen. So I don't know where the story's going to go now. I'm intrigued. We'll see. I thought it was a great match. Great atmosphere. It wasn't the greatest show ever. It was just a really good show, like a really good show. I mean, I thought the main event was excellent, and MJF is like in the running for Wrestler of the Year. I don't.
Holy shit! That fucking entrance with the ladies bout. Yeah. That's WrestleMania level, and that's the highest compliment you can get. Like it'd
be a damn shame if he left for WWE though. Like, no, because it'd be a shame.
Well, we actually gotta have that conversation though. Like, okay, where I'm not gonna get into it, but the conversation we need to have is that is it okay to stay in a company that's not WWE and be the top star, as opposed to going to WWE and just being a mid-carder and never achieving the greatness that you would have had somewhere else? Because people act like it's a blemish on your career if you didn't go to WWE. And
Sting, people acted like that way with him.
Yeah, I mean, not just Sting though. Like, everybody's like,
they did that with Flair.
I mean,
Flair. I think it's total
MJF can't. Yeah. He can't be the same character that in AEW that he can be in WWE.
Yeah, they won't let him. So why would you go and be something else when you can be exactly what you want to be? Yeah. And it's highly popular. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And your Mufasa, like Tony Khan can pay him big money. Like what's the Mufasa? Where's New Jack? Where's your tag team?
I love D-Lo.
D-Lo's on fire.
Still right on the story.
Oh, like, what can WWE sell him on? Yeah, merchandise,
money. I mean, they can throw a ton of money at him.
Yeah. So can Tony Khan too.
Yeah, Mufasa said Tony, is he still writing all the stories? And he said no chance MJF leaves for WWE. Tony will
like WWE, like Triple H can't tell MJF, hey man, like you can sell out any football stadium. Well, he just sold out 80,000 people in London. Like,
dude, he opened the show and closed it. He opened it and closed it.
He's not going to get that for a couple of years. Cody ain't even getting that. And he gave him the golden parachute. So
Cody's just pissing in the wind right now, man. I don't even know what they're doing.
He's waiting to WrestleMania. I don't think he's pissing the wind. I mean, he's the top draw of the company.
Well, I think too. I think right now he's done with his little program with Brock, and I think maybe they was going to probably start something with somebody else, but what happened this week happened because they said they changed all, like they just took everything and threw it away. For me, when I saw the match, my first initial reaction is, damn, MJF has gotten so much better in the ring. Like he has gotten really
every time he wrestles though.
Yeah.
Right. But the thing is, I've always kind of been like, I've been more critical of him of that because I always was like, all right, cool, I get it. You get on the mic, you do this, that, blah, 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 blah. Let me see some. He's really he's really has stepped his game up. And I mean, people can say what they want about Adam Cole. Adam Cole is one of the best workers in the business. And for him to hang with Adam the way, the way he did, even the first time they wrestled, but this match here, you really saw him do your thing. And like D'Lo said, this kind of makes sense of, like you said, Broadway acting instead of community theater, as in the fact of, it threw a loop for all of us, because we all, when they started a feud, we expected, okay, they're going to do this tag team thing, and it's going to be the stereotypical two people who are feuding against each other, having to be teammates, and you'll see them kind of like, nah, I can't stand you. I can't. You see the tags where they're slapping each other in the face and everything like that. But they had the little vignettes, trying to be like, hey man, I've been here at the gym the whole time. Where you been at and stuff? And then like seeing the match.
He said he was doing cardio. Let's get that straight. He's doing cardio.
And so,
and it shows Adam Cole. He looks good.
And they're doing like, saying the whole, doing the whole thing with that. And then of course you got the jilted friend, the guy who's been there the entire time.
Adam, me. That's me. Don't talk about me like I ain't here.
Do your neck exercise. Do your neck exercises. There you go. There you go.
So you got like the jilted friend who's like, hey man, you know how this is going to end type situation. And then the match happened, and basically that friend basically caused him to lose, Adam Cole to lose the title. And you see that, MJF, you made it seem like, oh, he's about to be like, oh, you only was my friend to this for that damn belt. Well, go ahead and hit me and stuff. And it became a thing. We're like, no, man, we cool. It's a respect thing. So I mess with it. I think eventually along the line, somebody is still going to do it. I have a feeling that I think Kyle O'Reilly is coming back soon from his injury. I can see where they have a little thing going with Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong going up against those two. And then somewhere along the line, maybe Adam Cole finally be like, yo, MJF, and you have the Undisputed Era kind of thing going again or whatever. So I could see that happening. But no, I thought it was a decent match, not like a 5-star, like, oh my God, great match, but it was a great match, decent storytelling, and it was cool.
Yeah. I mean, that's what a lot of people are saying, and I mean, I don't think this storyline was supposed to be this good. I feel like they kind of stumbled on it, and then both wrestlers just were just hitting it out the park, and they had great chemistry, and it just worked. They're around the same size, so everything's believable. And yeah, I mean, they're just killing it. And I mean, it's, the bloodline used to be like this, like people used to feel like that. But, over the span of 2 years, eventually it becomes community theater. I mean, arguably,
it always was.
Well, so the next thing I want to talk about, because I want to fight, is motherfucker. So we're talking about this. We're talking about the 81,000 attendance. It's what TK after the scrimmage that they had after All In. It is one of the, according to him, one of the biggest paid attendance in wrestling history. I don't know, because WWE lie all the time, so we don't know.
81,035 people
to be exact. But what I saw when I logged on Twitter after the movie, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, a very good movie, by the way. Mutant Madness. Jack Perry and CM Punk get into a little tussle. They just tussling. According to multiple reports and TK himself, so he sort of confirmed in a little scrimmage that right before CM Punk was about to go on his match, Jack Perry bumped him. There was a little tussle. I heard it was choking. It sounded very sexual and weird. It was a lot of stuff that was going on. And here we go again. And
I just want to say one thing. Before you go there. I just want to say one thing. What has been the common denominator?
Motherfucker, that's what I was about to say. But yeah, but you're correct.
What has been the common denominator?
CM Punk. Once again, CM Punk.
But if the dude's just standing there waiting for his entrance and some dude comes up to him and starts being like, hey, your wife's a whore or whatever it is that he said. Like, what are you
saying? I'm sorry.
What did CM Punk say? Season 3 of 90210 was shit? Like, what did he say?
No. So this is what they're saying.
I like what they're saying.
This is what good one.
No, this is what they're Brandon. This is what they're saying. It's kind of like caused their little beef or whatever. There was something with those two or something where like I guess it was gonna be a hardcore something with glass or something like
that.
Yeah. CM Punk didn't want Jack Perry to use real glass in a spot.
Which he fucking shouldn't.
I get it, whatever. And so that happened, and then in the middle of their match they had tonight with Hook and Jack Perry,
Hook won,
Jack Perry threw Hook won. Jack Perry did his little, he threw a little shot, and it was a car there. He slapped the car and said, "Real glass." He just said that to the. He looked at the mirror and said, "Real glass," and it was like a thing where he got backdropped onto the glass or whatever, and whatever. But here's my whole thing. Granted, I know what y'all saying, like, man, what this and that. My whole thing is this: CM Punk is always a common denominator. So if there's smoke, there's fire, yo. I mean, like
there might be an explosion.
Who was on the main show and who was on the pre-card?
Hold on,
I don't care, yo.
We didn't even gotta go there. Look, the thing about it is, you know how I felt about CM Punk when he first came back, and y'all know who I am. I'm not a flip flopper, but I will change my opinion when new evidence comes to light because I'm not a stubborn motherfucker like that.
Jackass.
Like if I see new shit, then I'm allowed to adjust my stance because the circumstances aren't the same. Now, CM Punk, okay, yes, he's always the common denominator in this, but you look at the people that's involved too, they're the common denominator as well because Jack Perry is real close with the Elite. So, and you got the Young Bucks who still refuse to work with CM Punk. So it's not just CM Punk. He's the common denominator on his side because of everything that happened. So yes, he's in that mix, but you still got these little young punk ass fucks who feeling themselves way too much,
which they shouldn't.
With his dumb ass music,
music
coming out to, and it's like Tony needs to get this shit together for real. It ain't even on CM. It's Tony. Tony needs to get this shit together.
I think it's a lot of blame to go around. Yes, I absolutely agree. CM Punk, it's something's going on there. Like he's always in the shit. I also think there's a click thing that is happening. I mean, even in WWE, back in the day, WWF back in the day. However, that was a different time when the click was doing that shit. I don't think that Tony. Yeah, it starts at the top. Tony Khan has to be a leader. Like, no, he can't be a relationship counselor and make everybody get along. I think wrestling's better when everybody it's not quite getting along. But if it happened the way that they said it happened with Jack Perry right before CM Punk, who's a main event talent, and Samoa Joe, who's a main event talent,
the reason who got you another
whole fucking show.
It wasn't fucking Jack Perry.
It wasn't Jack Perry. And somebody made a really good point. It was like, suppose they start tussling and Jack Perry like made CM Punk tweak his knee. Now a marquee match that is about to happen, you got to change on the fly or do some weird Jeff Hardy stupid shit that doesn't make sense that people will hate happen. It's just, I don't know. It's just irresponsible behavior going all around. It's really sad that, and this isn't painting the whole thing, but it's sad that this is happening again with CM Punk involved again.
So here we go. This is something else that
this is happening again, and we're talking about this instead of the amazing accomplishment that AEW did, that something that WCW didn't even do, frankly.
So this is what I just found out. I just saw this. This comes from.
If it don't come from D'Lo, I don't believe it.
Okay, whatever. This comes from This comes
He's a
from
dirt sheet himself. That's what D stands for. Dirt sheet.
This comes from Forbes magazine. They say apparently Punk
credible source
was pissed off at what Jack Perry did when Jack Perry said, "Real glass, cry me a river." And
and he said, "Cry me a river."
He said that. He said, "Real glass, cry me a river." When he went back through the curtain, Punk was waiting and started like jawing with him and was coming after him. They said that Punk was the aggressor coming toward. You can make that face all you want, Jason. I know what you
I didn't make a face.
Yeah, Jason, you made that face off. Yes, you made that. You whatever. Like, no, I'm just saying.
I did not.
Okay, I'm just saying. They're saying that Punk was the initiative. They said he went after Perry and he went after Perry and tried to hit Perry. And what Perry was like, yo, what the hell? Everybody was like, yo, what the hell is going on here, man? Or whatever. He was pissed off.
So were there two separate incidences? Because I've heard from other credible sources that Punk, like, it was right before, and of course we don't know, but like before Punk was about to go on, Jack Perry bumped into him. So are they saying it's two different instances?
No, the matches were right behind each other. That's the thing.
Okay,
so,
because
there were two separate instances that happened.
No, one.
Punk opened up the show.
So there's been two incidents though. Like a few weeks ago, whenever it was.
Oh, yeah,
right.
Jack Perry wanted to use real glass, and CM Punk was like, "Nah, dude, like,
well,
what are you doing?"
CM Punk,
I'm talking about today, all in London.
But that's why he probably made the comment like, "This is real glass" or whatever.
Jack Perry during this match, the pre-show match, which is the one right before the show started. Jack Perry and Hook wrestled. They did a spot where Jack Perry was a car there with glass, and Jack Perry slapped the glass and looked at it and said, "Real glass, cry me a river." And he took a backdrop from Hook, and then they did their match. Match was over. After that match was over, the first match of the card was Punk versus Joe. They say when Jack went into the back through the gorilla area, they said that's when Punk was waiting for him and was like, basically, you talking that shit, with the glass thing. He brought that back up. But wait a minute, he brought that back up and tried to go after Jack for that.
Okay, but hold on, Tony. You said he was waiting for him, right? See, that's the shit. That's the shit. But
he was the first match, though.
That's what I'm saying.
To be in that area.
That's what I'm saying. That's the shit that people are trying to spin too. He had the match coming up, so it's not like he went out there and was like, "Yo." If he had a match coming up,
but they said he went after him though.
Okay, yeah, I get it. He's right there, and then the dude apparently took a shot at him. Then CM Punk being who he is, he's going to say something. Now, do I agree with him? Like probably the way he came at him? No, I don't agree with that because
that's what all I'm saying is this. I get that. That was the first match, but it was still time in between that, and this may be the first match coming up. My thing is this, man. Sometimes you just gotta let shit fucking slide. Be like, yo, all right, I see you fucking later, or some shit like that. They said that he went after Jack because he was waiting, like in that area, and he was waiting, and he went and attacked Jack. He went after Jack and stuff.
That could be that part could be spin. But hold on, I will say this.
Look, we from Portsmouth. If you want the smoke, you can get the smoke. Don't sit there and say real glass, cry me a river. If you don't want to get put through real glass, goddamn, because I would have had some glass waiting for him when he came.
Here's the thing. He did get put through real glass.
No, but not by me, goddamn it. Not by me. Because it would have been by me.
God.
It would have been by me.
Continental champion Scunter.
I will say this. That if because this is a big caveat, because there's a lot of rumors flying around. If this is the reason that they got in a fight was because of a in-character promo that Jack Perry said, and CM Punk took offense to it. He needs to change his pad, because that's like an inside. Like, that's funny. Like, that's wrestling. Like shit like that happens all the time.
Jack
so if he's getting mad at him, he should change his pad.
Jack Perry was the one that got sent home, though.
Yeah, Jack Perry got sent home. Yeah.
Well, so, I don't know. I want to hear more of the actual facts, like what actually happened, and I'm sure that'll come up. But it's just unfortunate. I personally think it's a lot of blame to go around, and it starts at the top, and it starts with more veteran talent. CM Punk is older than all of us.
Yeah, it's pretty much what you said, though. It's like two separate sides, like which
it's two. Yeah, so I want to hear.
So it's like.
Yeah, it's both sides and then the truth. So I can't wait to hear the actual truth of what.
The truth is they all acting like fucking bitches.
Yes, yeah. At the end of the day,
this money, yo. Let's make this. Money.
It's so much. Clearly, it's so much money to be made.
They can do CM Punk and FTR versus Young Bucks and.
And speaking of the Young Bucks,
Kenny Omega next year,
they can do it with the Buck Breaker, what's his name? The cowboy
dude,
shit.
They
can do it with him.
Adam Page. Adam Page. I was always Young Bucks. I was always defending them, but that bullshit they pulled with FTR, man, like they could have shook their hand, man. Come on now, that was a hell of a fucking match. And they've been
that's smart. You're marking out.
Come on, man, that's part of the shit. They ain't got nothing to do with it.
Because they've been disrespecting FTR the whole time. You know what I'm saying? FTR give them their respect. You know what I'm saying?
It's part of the gimmick.
It's wrestling. They should be disrespecting them. It's part of in character. I mean, they're bad guys.
Fuck that. No. Yeah. That goes with that click shit. Because FTR.
I put it like this. If it goes to that click shit, then they would not been wrestling FTR too, because FTR is Team CM Punk.
But they're a good example of making controversy into trash.
It could be because they didn't actually have the altercation with them.
Well, according to my sources that I read on Twitter, Young Bucks, FTR, and Kenny, I guess they all broke bread and everything's cool.
Okay.
All
right, cool.
And I go
and
back.
Kenny Omega, it might be cool with CM Punk. It's just CM Punk and the Bucks.
Yeah,
that's still like
CM Punk. Omega already said he's open to working with CM Punk. Yeah. It's just
because he wants to make some fucking money. That's what he wants to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I will just repeat once again. There's a common denominator in just about all these shits. And his name is All Elite White. His name is Jack Brooks. His name is Jack Brooks.
Jack Perry is the Vincent of the Elite, and he's out here trying to pick fights.
Not the Vincent.
He's not even in the damn Elite or whatever. It's Jack Brooks.
He's in the behind the scenes Elite. Come on now, the pillars. He's a part of he's a part of that, and he should not be put in the same sentence as the All Elite White. As much as I make fun of him, he is not on their level. He is just lucky that his father was who he was, or he would at best be a jobber in Ring of Honor.
All right, I'm gonna take my time right now.
Okay.
As good as that pay-per-view was, I still ain't get my motherfucking steak.
I know why you didn't get your steak.
Yeah, I ain't get my fucking steak. And I'm so fucking it's so fucking ridiculous. Do you know I'm so fucking sick of this shit? I love Sting to death. I love Sting. Sting was one of my favorites growing up. But do you know what that would have did for Swerve's career if he was the one who put Sting in the coffin? Do you know that shit would have made him a made fucking man? But instead,
I'm going to give AEW a month.
That would have made him.
It would not have done. It would have done.
They got
it would not have done that much for him to do that to Sting. I'm like, come on, y'all. Like, seriously. Listen, I know.
Now,
speaking of
y'all
Sting,
acting like this is Sting from the 90s.
It don't matter.
It don't matter. His name is AARP Sting,
but he's not.
This is 65-year-old Sting.
Yeah, exactly. So why is he still beating these people like that?
What's that going to do for Swerve?
Why is he there? The whole thing ain't putting nobody over. Why is he there?
I love that they're fighting.
Because I'm gonna be heard. That's why. I'm gonna be heard.
Because he wants his steak. He's hungry. This man been trying to eat for years.
He's hungry.
Yes, he's hungry.
Do you know
that's what?
I
put like this. I'm gonna say this. You got your steak during the entrance when he came out and he said whose house, and the crowd was like Swerve house. That was your steak you're getting from that.
So I ain't get to eat the shit.
They took the plate away from Bunch.
I went like this.
A tip.
They took the shit away.
Yeah.
Always.
Hey man, sorry. It is what it is. I like Swerve. I like Swerve like everybody else. I think you guys like him a tad bit too much than what he really should be like. But I give him credit. Swerve is cool.
I am going to give them a month, or I'm going to say some horrible things about how they treat black talent. But I'm not yet. I'm not going to do it yet. I'm going to give them a month.
We're going to go there. WWE though.
We're going to do that at the WWE.
We're gonna.
Where's Bianca at? Where's Bianca at?
She's probably starring in movie roles. She's in what's that game my son plays? Fortnite. She's in Fortnite.
Oh, Mercedes. Oh, they kept cutting the Mercedes.
Can we talk about first of all how good Mercedes money, Sasha Banks look in the hair?
Oh my God. Oh, Mercedes.
Oh God.
Her man ain't hitting it right. I just know it.
I think they divorced. No woman that looks like
the way that dude had her in them yoga positions. The way that dude had her in them yoga positions.
Yeah.
Yeah, he ain't it.
Yeah. The yoga guy is maybe Xavier Woods did. I don't know. I mean,
speaking of Xavier Woods chicks, shout out to Saraya too for winning the title.
Yeah, I was going to mention
that. Speaking of AEW for doing something that WWE refuses to ever do, give somebody a moment in their home country.
Yeah. Remember when Selena won the belt in Puerto Rico against Rhea Ripley? I remember that.
Yeah. And Sammy won the belt in Canada. Or Drew won the belt in the Clash.
Right. Remember when Drew didn't sing after he won the belt? I remember that. Fucking
I think they literally whipped JR in Oklahoma with the belt. I think
lit him on fire backstage. Probably.
So that's different approaches by different companies.
Hold on. Can we talk about Sting real quick? Sure. You see the difference when his entrance is at nighttime instead of midday, like they had him do at WrestleMania? It's so much cooler. It's just simple shit.
Nothing about his
that was his old WCW music. They had near the end of his run. That was his old theme song for WCW near the end of his run. They had going and everything. So
that's really dope. Yeah. So one thing I definitely want to talk about, and I know Hollywood's going to be very excited about this. Well, first I want to talk about
Mercedes again.
No, nothing really happened.
Do y'all think she signed? She had to be, right?
Yeah.
They showed her like 5 times. There's no way.
Yeah, I think so.
It's been like a year, right? Throw money at her.
Hold on, it's been like a year. It's been like a year since she started in the New Japan shit, right? It's been like a year, right?
Yeah, it's been about a year.
Yeah. So
she should be about healed. She should be about healed. Up. God, just throw so much money here. I mean, as much as it was a moment for Saraya, sorry. She should not have the belt.
Gave her a black girl name.
That's her new name.
Good job, Sanisha.
Sanisha won the belt. She should not have the belt long.
Nah, that was like the one decision they made tonight where I was just like, I get it, but this is
long term.
I mean, her neck is barely hanging on. She could probably do things.
That's why they had to do it now.
She could do things for her neck. That doesn't involve wrestling, though.
Here you go,
That's horrible.
Here you go.
That's
girl.
awful. That's so awful.
Roger got you.
I'm not even taking part of this shit. I refuse to take part of this shit.
Oh God. Anyway, well, yeah. Hollywood would be very excited about this. I didn't see the match, but I did see the awesome fucking promo that they gave Chris Jericho, Will Ospreay. The promo alone on Dynamite, I think it was Dynamite, completely sold me on the match. It completely. I was already like Will Ospreay, but I was like, I don't know if he can speak. Passion, everything that he gave in that promo, that is a motherfucking star.
It made you want to order the show, Jason.
I told you
it made
me want to order the show.
I told you he was a fucking star
tomorrow.
Last year.
They got a back.
I've been on Ospreay for 3 years now. Before back when
they got to back the truck up.
They got to back the truck. Him,
where they announced it, they said his contract.
He's a franchise maker. He will put.
Look,
they say
Monday. Ricky.
Oh
they already said us. You know what? You are jumping all over the place. You got Tourette's or something today, man.
Because we talking about people I like, and I just remember
excited
that you said. You like Juice now too, and I told you Juice.
Here's the thing. I've liked Juice, but it's just crazy how it's it finally clicked to me. I was like, I like Juice. I said I've seen this before. I just couldn't put my finger to it, and then I was like, oh, this is what Brian Pillman would have been if he had to get his leg fused for the loose cannon. You know what I'm saying, for the loose cannon thing or whatever. But
so it kind of connected to you as a fan.
Yeah. Okay. So Will Ospreay, man, dude. Here's the thing: the dude has been fucking killing it for 3-4 years.
I didn't know he was such a good promo.
Yeah,
like voice, passion, everything is like
listen, bruv. Listen,
bruv.
Hold on.
I was like, that shit hyped me up.
Listen, Jericho, bruv.
Listen, bro. I was like, yeah, bruv. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's him. He's him. He's him.
Yeah, and then the fact that they announced
second him, first him is Carmelo Hayes, but he's good too. Well, I'm just joking. He got
to start riding roller coasters for me to take him seriously.
You are such a hater. We had this conversation. He's not that different from Daniel Bryan.
He's 4'2". Come on.
Hey Melo.
I cannot stand
Melo. Hey, get on my shoulder, Melo. What's up, Melo?
I'm gonna say this right now. I think Trick Williams will be a bigger star than
I do too. I do too.
Be a star too. He's got that where he lacks, like I guess what Carmelo has naturally in ring because he's short.
Yeah, Trick has that.
And naturally gifted. Trick just has that. I mean, Carmelo has it too, but Trick has it like.
And he doesn't need a booster seat at restaurants either.
Oh, shit. Hey, look. Or those shoes like the little boy wore Indiana Jones.
Or the shoes that MJF wears when he wrestles.
I will drive you around, Dr. Jones.
Y'all are absolutely horrible. For those of you who watched the match, how was it? Jericho did Jericho embarrass himself? Like, did he kind of hold his own?
No. Look, one thing about Jericho.
He didn't hold his own.
Yeah, look, one
Jericho
thing I will say about
Jericho did his thing.
Yeah, one thing I will say about him now is like CM Punk. We talk shit about CM Punk, how he's not like what he used to be. True. Of course, Jericho isn't what he used to be, but he still puts on good performances, and his matches aren't terrible. Yeah. His feuds, like what you get out of it, the outcome is terrible. Yeah. But actual matches that he's in, he doesn't let you down, especially for his age.
And I think I've been the biggest Jericho hater, on this podcast because his wife
is an
insurrectionist.
I would have never thought
scumbag,
that. Scumbag,
racist, MAGA whore.
Shine some light on that, Monday.
But I will say Chris Jericho definitely impressed me with his promo that he gave. I mean, I was just so like, I mean, that's what Chris Jericho is best at. So he's still got it. He's just MAGA. It's okay. So is Hulk Hogan. Y'all like him too. No, y'all don't. But yeah, anyway. Well, what? Yeah. So any other matches kind of stick out to y'all? I think we went over the major
Stadium Stampede was pretty crazy.
Stadium Stampede was crazy.
Yeah.
Shout out, yo. You know what? Shout out. I know Bunch hate this motherfucker too. But shout out to my dude.
With the 100 fucking orange punches that he did with his taped up hand.
I don't care. Shout out to my man Orange Cassidy. My man Orange Cassidy
is shorter than Carmelo Hayes, but hey,
that's fine. But he's actually taller than Hayes, but it's okay. No. He might weigh more.
He has the body of Jack Perry, and
you know what?
He might weigh more. But at least he could ride the shockwave at King's Dominion. Okay,
he'll die from the impact because he is.
And he can ride the Loch Ness Monster. Anyway,
is Carmelo even old enough to drink at this point?
Oh no, he's him though. He is him. How old is Carmelo?
Probably 15.
Statutory
about 15, 16.
Yeah, walking statutory rape charge.
Oh God. Well, that's I'm not going there. I'm not going there.
So when the pay-per-view first started and the match started, the first match was Joe versus Punk. Mm-hmm. And you saw Punk start bleeding. I said to myself, I said the text. I said,
there's gonna be another fight.
John Moxley back there like
I know he was destroying monitors.
Yeah, he was like bet.
He probably did why like it.
He was like, hold my skewers.
He probably went up to damn Orange Cassidy and said, guess what? You might pass out tonight. I'm gonna make sure you lose 3 pints of blood. Because Orange Cassidy's face, it looked like somebody took his hand and just dipped it in a bucket of blood. Like and my bad, because John Moxley went a little was just doing some wild ass shit. Him and that skewer shit.
Can we talk about that skewer shit? I didn't see
that shit.
Why?
That shit looks crazy as fuck.
I thought they were going to fight like in the stadium because that would have been cool. But I guess they have restrictions or something. I thought they were going to go out in the crowd.
Yeah, Wemby said we ain't going for this shit.
I think they would have, but they said because they remember they did on Dynamite. They did say, "Hey, this is the first stadium stampede with actual people in it." Mm-hmm. So that kind of was a thing to let you know, like this ain't gonna be the same shit y'all used to. You know what I'm saying? Y'all that we do it doing it when it's the empty when they're at the Jaguar Stadium because you know Daddy Khan owns the team or whatever, so they can do that. I mean, it was cool for what it was. Basically like a giant, like a Texas tornado death match or whatever. I mean, it was cool for what it was, but some things, John Moxley, man, got like, dude is a decent wrestler, bro. And I mean, and even when he was like John Moxley, when he was in FCW and stuff like that, he was still a decent wrestler. He didn't have to do this whole. It's like now he's just like, hey, I did the big show. It did this. Now I want to be the new Terry Funk. But goddamn, at least Terry Funk still wrestled. It's shit, you know what I'm saying? To still wrestle and stuff like that.
And even with Mick Foley, Terry, basically all of ACW, there's still
shout
an
out
artwork to shout out to it's still
an Orange Cassidy is like sparkling water, bland and boring. I love Mufasa.
I agree.
I don't think he's bland and boring. I think he's
bland. I will say once again, have we seen a bad match with Orange Cassidy yet? And you even said
just give me
yes or no. Yes or no. That's a yes or no bunch. No.
Standard.
I will answer your question, but just let me say this. Just give me one or the other. We don't need both. Either give me Orange or give me Darby. We don't need both. Killing everybody. Not just once a week, but 3 times a week. Because fucking Orange Cassidy was on Dynamite, Rampage, Collision, and the fucking pay-per-view. Like, good God almighty. How many people you got to beat in a week?
He's all Atlantic, baby.
The motherfucker's all everywhere. That's what he is. All everywhere.
And if only they had talent to put in his place.
He said Orange Cassidy his cheeks.
Nasty cheeks. No My God in heaven. All right. Well, as we wrap this up, any last standouts that anybody had for All In? I think D-Lo wrapped it up pretty well. It seemed like what the consensus was. It was a very fun match. AEW should be super proud of themselves. They were trending all day. It was good. Any other standouts with All In? Any last thoughts of the biggest pay-per-view that ever? Certainly for AEW and its short history.
I guess my only thing is like, I mean, they did it. They did it. Despite all of the WWE fanboys who WWE fanboys, or else people who hate, you know what I'm saying, AEW, hate people in AEW for whatever reason, people who hate Omega for whatever reason, they hate the you know what I'm saying, the Elite for whatever reason, people who are just like, oh, it's WWE or nothing. They fucking did it. And what now how far back are you going to push? What are you going to push the goalpost to now for them to do something like this?
They got to do it in America. They got to do it in America.
Right. So it's like
that's the new foot. Yeah, that's the new goalpost.
Right. And I want to, and like I said, I'm a fan of AEW, but I am not blind to the fact that yes, AEW has some things to work on. But people who complain about AEW like that, who are these WWE fanboys, act like WWE is doing everything 100% right, and they're not. And they're definitely not right now. And the
one thing they were doing right is not going right.
And it's not going. Yeah. And the sad thing about it is what we're getting now is 10 times better than what we had 5 years ago.
Right. And here's my thing. And here's my thing too. I know, like I said, I know there's mid-card guys and stuff like that some of you guys don't really care about. it's stuff you don't like or you like. Man, I'm tired of saying. You can say what you want, but guess what? They're getting a chance. There's mid card guys in WWE who not even get who's on the show like not even once every 3 weeks or whatever. They're at least AEW. It seems like they're trying to like build with some.
They are now. They're trying to. They weren't.
What you mean
they are? They are now. I would say in the last 6 months. Well, before they had Dynamite. I mean, wrestlers would just disappear for 3 or 4 weeks, and then you just seem like, oh shit, yeah, they're feuding.
Well, that's because they only had one. They only had one.
And Swerve come to mind.
Okay, I get that because they only had.
It was a plan. Like I get the vision. Like they was like, okay, well, we kind of all over the place, but eventually we're gonna have these 3 or 4 shows to showcase. Like it makes a little bit more sense.
Everything is as like storyline wise, we was always be like they all over the place. I will say now that they have Collision. Like even Rampage now, everything is taking shape a whole lot better, and the storylines are making a whole lot more sense. And so I can't even really give other than the fact of like I said, just Swerve. Yeah, Swerve. Like I mean,
well, you can't get all of them right. Yeah,
you can't get all of them right. But I mean, as long as they got a plan, I'm here for it. But I mean, come on now.
D-Lo, any closing hate remarks? Anything you want to shit on before?
I agree with franchise. I mean, AEW. I'm a fan of AEW. I'm a fan of it being a legitimate second promotion because it's more money for everybody. I know they have stuff to work on because a lot of these shows just feel too chaotic for me. Like there's no week to week. They need somebody in there that can do week to week storytelling instead of just like it being all over the place. But hopefully this is a start of a good few months for them because they got another stadium show kind of in New York in September. So that's 20,000 people right there.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry. Go ahead, D-Lo. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Oh, so this I noticed too. So the other day I finally got a chance to watch that Cody Rhodes documentary thing on Peacock, becoming the Nightmare Cody Rhodes and stuff like that. You see WWE, for you WWE fanboys who maybe haven't seen this or whatever, WWE, I was surprised they even mentioned and said AEW out of their mouth. They even said Nick Jackson and they actually said the Jackson brothers' names, the young, but they mentioned these people by name on their show, and y'all know how WWE normally is about that. Like they'll be
their
like,
philosophy is you don't really talk about the competition,
right? You don't talk about the other competition, but during that whole thing, they actually brought that up and talked about that whole scenario, and
maybe that's more so because of Cody. Like, hey, he has more
like
power
I can't
to
tell
do
my
that
story.
Kind of stuff.
I can't tell my story without mentioning them.
But and it was told on a documentary, not. I mean, I get your point. I mean, it was.
But no, they've done stuff like that with other. No, what I'm saying is they've done stuff like that with other people where they left and they came back and it's like, oh, this person, this and that, and they like they just refused to even mention like, oh, they went off to go do, they went off to what they felt. They went to what they felt were greener pastures to do stuff.
They did say that all the time. It was like, okay, WCW, okay.
Yeah, but with Cody, it's like you can't do that with him because this is part of his journey, his story that he's telling. So it's like you can't leave that stuff.
Yeah,
out.
Well, they did in the past, and they sounded stupid. So
I know, but
at least they course corrected it.
But he probably
because you can't.
He probably negotiated all that stuff too, though. I mean,
it's new leadership. It's a new time. I mean, wrestling's different. I mean, AEW mentions WWE wrestlers all the time.
Vince fucking flew to his house.
Yeah. Vince went to his house to get the thing, and then he even and I do like too how he even mentioned because of course. When he came back to WWE, of course, the WWE fanboy, he hates it. He hates AEW with him. He sat there and said clear as day, I want to make something clear. He was like, I have no issues with anybody. He says it was a personal issue, which makes me think he had an issue with Tony Khan. If anything, it was some Tony Khan type stuff because he was like, I don't have no problem with 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 the Bucks and stuff. People try to say, "Oh, him and the Bucks." He's like, "No." He said what he says. He says it was a personal issue with something else, and I'm gonna leave it at that. He says I had no problems with any of the guys that I helped start this up with, and he made that perfectly clear.
I think his issue was that Tony fired Brandy, because what other reason would it be?
It had to be something his wife related, or something to that level that he just felt disrespected, and he was like, he also has said that he liked the idea of being like in charge until he was actually sort of in charge, and then he was like, I just want to be one of the boys. Like, I don't want to be responsible for all this other shit, and I just want to do my job. And he gets to do that. WWE probably does a little behind the scenes stuff because he's a leader and he's accomplished.
It's also crazy.
So he got the best of both worlds, probably.
The first All In that they did, that before AEW was even a thing, with the one to show that him and the Bucks put together, they actually have their plaque in front of that building still to this day for putting, that show on with no promotion. It's just them going to grabbing indie dudes and putting it together. Because I even forgot Rey Mysterio was a part of that show because he was independent during that time.
Dude. Hey, dude, I be at work, and I be riding on my little thing. I be like, they be like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I just got one question. I got one question for Jason and D-Lo about this. Are y'all surprised that bunch of dudes does that at work?
Hell no. I would be upset if he didn't. I feel like, man, you selling out, bro.
You said, but you was telling us that, like, hey, let me give y'all some inside scoop of what I do. We were like, yeah, we figure you do that. Ricky and all that. Piper Niven, I would be.
Although I say my new favorite is D-Lo impression of old girl.
Samantha.
The Intercontinental Champion Gunter.
We're gonna end it on that. If you want to hit us up, you can hit us up at Twitter at Rassling or IG at hard_r_wrestling, or if you're on Facebook, Fans of the Federation. You can hit us up also on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. And where are we at right now? Where are we broadcasting live from Twitch? Where are we, bunch?
Twitch.
Baby.
That's our
London,
new one.
Hollywood word.
London, Philadelphia,
Chelsea,
Wembley Stadium. Adam.